Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today is the day 23 for our Fortigate Firewall series. So in this video, we are going to understand active high availability in Fortigate Firewall. So in this video, we are going to understand first that what is the requirement to set up high availability active in Fortigate Firewall. How exactly it works and how it handles the traffic basically. Okay. And then we'll go to the lab and we'll see how to configure and verify whether high availability has been configured properly or not. Okay. And also we are going to see the practical example with application test that how it works in high availability. Okay. So I'll highly recommend you to please watch this video till then so that you can understand the concept behind active and it will be helpful for your interview as well as when you are dealing with a real-time environment on active in Fortigate Firewall, it will be helpful. And also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. So without any further delay, let's get started. So friends, first of all, we'll understand what are the requirement to set up high availability active in Fortigate Firewall. Okay. So first of all, the Fortigate firewalls or the HA peers has to have a same model. Okay. If we are using a VM model, we have to have a VM model. If we are using a physical model, we have to have a physical model. Okay, so let's say if I'm using 90D for an example, I should have a 90D as well to build a HA, right? They have to have a same version of OS, okay, or a firmware or a image, that whatever you can think of. Okay, if a Fortigate firewall is running 2.6.7, the other peer has to run the same version. Okay, they have to have a same license as well as they have to have a same group. Okay, so whenever we configure HA, right, we actually put a group name and group has to match in both the devices. Otherwise the HA will not be, they'll not be able to become a HA pair basically. Okay, so this is the basic requirement to build high availability in active or you can think about active passive as well. Okay, for same deployment you have to have this requirement as well at the initial place. Okay, so let's understand how exactly active works. Okay, so friends, now we'll understand how exactly active works and how exactly it handles the traffic. Okay, so before we understand in a details, let's understand how the election process happens. Okay, so let's say this is a firewall or a Fortigate 1 and this is 2. Okay, so first of all, the priority will be into consideration. So let's say if this device or the firewall 1 is having the higher priority value, he'll become the master and the other firewall will become slave. Okay, now let's say if the priority by default is 128 and this Fortigate firewall has the same priority 128, in that case what happens is the serial number, they'll check the serial number, so higher serial number will become the master and the lower will become slave. So higher is better in this criteria. Okay, so you can, if you want some or that firewall or maybe firewall 1 or firewall 2, if you want the firewall to be a master, you have to configure that firewall as a higher priority value, right? Okay, so now let's understand how exactly the traffic works here. Okay, so friends, you must be thinking why there is a master, why there is a slave. If we are running active, what is the use of this? Why there is a master? Because the traffic will be processed by both the firewalls. Okay, and why there is a election that is happening as well. So there are a lot of questions in your mind. Let me answer that question by explaining you how the traffic will be getting handled by Fortigate Firewall. Okay, so let's understand. Let's say this is a LAN interface. Okay, now this diagram will help you to understand that. Okay, so for an example, port 1 is a LAN interface. Okay, both the sides. Okay, now LAN, whenever you configure any IP address, it is a VIP, which is virtual IP address, because the PCs will not have multiple gateways, right? They will have only one IP address and only one gateway. So for an example, let's understand our LAN segment is this 10.0/24. Okay, so my gateway can be either 1, either 2, or either 10, or whatever, only one IP address. So that IP address is a virtual IP address. Let's understand, let's 10. So all the traffic will be sent to this virtual IP address. Now virtual IP will be with active. Okay, or you can say from active scenario, this is master. So master will handle all the traffic, like it will receive all the traffic from the master. He will be allocating who will handle that particular traffic. Okay, it will be handled by me, or it will be handled by other member, or it will be handled by slave. So the number of slaves we will be having, who will handle that particularly. Okay, so there are more numbers of firewalls can be, but to understand the concept, I'm just taking one slave right now. Okay, so he will be sending that particularly to the firewall, and he'll be handle, and he'll be sending the traffic. Okay, now whatever he will be checking the profile in sense, he'll be checking the UTM profile. UTM profile means antivirus, URL filtering, application control, VPN, or not more what it is. Okay, so it is not processed by the master, it is processed by the unit who is handling that particular traffic. Okay, because it just check, it does a load balancing, whether I have, like, the master has to process it or slave has to process it, will just forward it. Okay, so load balancing has some kind of limitations. What is the limitation? So basically, let's rub this out and we'll understand freshly. So let's say this PC or this network has initiated ICMP or HTTPS, or I guess multicast, I guess broadcast as well. Okay, maybe you guys can have a look on the documentation as well, might be has changed or something in the newer version. But this is not being load balanced. It has to be only processed by the primary unit, or you can say as a master. Master will only process this. It cannot be load balanced. Okay, so if it is HTTPS, multicast, or ICMP, it will only be handled by the master, not by the slave. Okay, but still the sessions will be copied. So if master goes down in some of the cases, as the session is coming return, like once the session returns from the internet and coming to the Fortigate firewall, basically it will be as the session will be preserved or the sessions will be copied, it will process the traffic and sends to the desired source. Okay, so this is how basically active works in Fortigate firewall. Okay, now let's configure it and see how exactly it works in real-time environment. Okay, so let's hit the lab and we'll understand more about it. So guys, let's configure and verify the high availability, and we'll do a practical explanation as well. So let's hit the lab now. So let's rub this out and let's move to the lab. Okay, so we are using the same lab that we have used for active and passive. Okay, So this port 1 is dedicated for MGMT. Port 4 is used for HA. Port 2 is used for LAN, and port 3 is used for our basically WAN. Okay, so this is the setup that we are having, and we will be going and continuing with the setup. Okay, this is our test PC that we are going to test the internet connectivity, and we'll test some of the application from here. Okay, so let's move on and we'll go to both the firewalls dashboard and configure the HA. As we have already configured the IP addresses already in the Fortigate firewalls. Okay, so initial configuration like the IP address as port 3, port 2 and MGMT already. So we just need to configure, or basically we just need to configure the HA configuration. I have already configured the policy, NAT and everything. Okay, so we'll go and configure the HA in both the Fortigate firewalls. Okay, so friends, this is Fortigate Firewall 1 and this is Fortigate Firewall 2. Okay, so we'll go to Fortigate Firewall 1. Okay, as you can see on the network, I have configured all the IP addresses. Okay, same with Fortigate 2 as well. Okay, now in Fortigate 1, if you go and see the policies also are configured. So I'll go to the system, I'll go to HA, and I have to configure active. Now device priority is 150. Okay, basically it is reflecting the old configuration that we did. Okay, so I'll just make some changes on this part. So let's say I'll configure 130. Okay, I'll change the group name as something else, so active. Okay, and I'll change the password as well. Okay, and I'm going to monitor 2 and 3 because it's a LAN interface and a WAN interface. So LAN interface and a WAN interface. Okay, and my HA interface will be port 4. That's all. Okay, now if I want, I can reserve the interface. So this will be there for accessing purpose, so I don't want it right now. Okay, because after once the HA gets built, we'll not be having access to the standby devices. Okay, so for that reason it is there. If you want, you can configure it. So I'll just click OK, and we are basically good with this. Now we'll go to the Fortigate 2, and in HA we'll make it as active. Okay, so this gets complete, and I'll make this one as 100. I'll make the lab as active, so active, and password I'll be changing it. And I'll keep the monitor interface and heartbeat interface as the same. I'm not changing here. I'll just click OK. Once it is complete, I'll be clicking OK here. Okay, so let's get complete by this one, the Fortigate Firewall 1. Okay, and then I'll click OK. So let me refresh this page again. Okay, so as you can see, it is showing as synchronized. So let me do this one as well. Okay, now it takes a little bit of time to get sync with this Fortigate firewall. So once it gets sync, I will start the video. Meanwhile, I'll just stop it because it takes a little bit of time. Okay, so friends, now you can see that both the device are basically finished their negotiation, and they are now part of HA. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to test some of the connection from the test PC. Okay, we'll try to access some of the websites, and we'll see whether we have internet connectivity or not. So let's open Facebook, and we can see that it is getting open. The Facebook is working for us. Now let me show you something on this part. Let's open Fortigate 1 and let's open Fortigate 2. Okay, now if we try to log in here and also here, so get system session list and also get system session list. Okay, now as you can see over here, whatever the session he is having the same session, right? Now as we are just seeing the session, we just take a look, or we can just imagine that those sessions will be get copied from Fortigate 1 to Fortigate 2, right? As this is a primary device, he'll be sending all the session information to Fortigate 2. Okay, but the one part that is not there is like the load balancing will be handled by Fortigate 1. Okay, now we'll try to do one thing. We'll try to initiate some of the connections, okay, from the test PC, and we'll make the Fortigate down, and we'll see how the connection is basically behaving it. Okay, so friends, now you can see only Fortigate 1 is accessible. Fortigate has no access right now. So let's open test machine and we'll try to initiate some of the connection. Okay, so let's say I have opened Reddit and it is getting loaded properly. Okay, so let's open something which is some kind of remote connection. So let's download AMI admin. Okay, so AMI admin, I guess. Okay, my spelling is little wrong. Download the AMI admin. I guess it will not allow me to download from Firefox. I have to use it Edge. So let me download quickly. Okay, so let me download the AMI admin and then I'll start the video again for testing. Okay, so friends, I have installed the AMI admin in my PC as well as on this test machine. Okay, we'll try to connect the AMI admin from here. Okay, so it is 93890 and 341. So 93. Okay, it's 890341. 890341. Okay, let's connect. Okay, so we have to give this password. So 70049. So 70049. Okay, accept. Now I have got the picture of that particular machine now. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'll go to the EVNG, I'll close this machine basically, and I'll stop this. Okay, and let's see whether this is getting breaked or not. I still have the connection or I don't have that particular connection. So let's see. Okay, still the connection is there. Let's close that out, and the connection has not lost. So we'll go and we'll try to log in to Fortigate Firewall, get system session list. Okay, so still the connection has not break and we are successfully connected. Now as you can see that as the primary goes down, the session was copied and it is an active one. Okay, so friends, as you can see over here, it is very much the user will never come to know that something has happened. Okay, and it is smoothly handled by Fortigate, and the session was copied, and right now whoever is active, let's say if we refresh it and when we try to log in this, I guess we are into Fortigate 2. Okay, and there is no problem right now. Maybe what we can do is let's kill this session right now. Okay, so let's close this. Okay, so without any issues. We actually shut down the Fortigate 1, the primary device, and it was properly working. Okay. So guys, this is what I wanted to cover in this video. Okay. I just want you guys to comment that if you have faced any active issues with your organization, or when you configured anything that you have observed, let me comment it. Or if you have any suggestion related to my video, you can put in the comment, or you can send me an email or message or Instagram message, wherever you want, you can do that. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. And also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.